Hello, welcome to the Thirsty Lesbians Roll20 demo, part 6. I'm Sean Nitter, and I'm going to show, in this part, I'm going to show you how to use the various safety tools in Roll20 that are part of the game that we want to make sure are also part of the module. So we have three tools, the pallet, the X card, and the pause and check-in card. So let's dive in and see what that looks like. This is a brand new game, just set up. If you aren't familiar with how to get setting up the game and whatnot, go look at the previous parts. We go walk through all of it. By default, the X card and the pause and check-in card decks are both visible. If they are invisible, if you don't see them, or if you want to show or hide them, you go to the collections tab, which is the second to the far right tab, and then from there you can hide or show decks. So, oops, I just clicked on it. There we go. And so that's how you can add or hide or show those decks. We'll get into actually how to use the cards in a second. I just want to make sure that they're visible. So the first safety tool that we want to go over is the palette. That is a page. You can click on the page toolbar, go to palette, and you'll see that there is text here. It's in the object layer. The intent is for everybody, players or GMs, to be able to modify this. There's text here, and you can click in the text and it says replace this text with what excites you. And these are all the things, the book goes into more detail here. So I'm just recapping, but these are all the things that you're really excited about, things you want to see, hearts racing and swords clashing, absolutely. Anything else more specific, spaceships, noble houses feuding, muck monsters and goblins, whatever it is that is really exciting you as a group, you're going to talk about that. And everyone's going to work collectively to try and include those elements in the game. We're going to build them into our characters. We're going to build them into the stories. We're going to build them into the adventures, because that's what is important and relevant and pulls on our heartstrings. The other elements are, don't include the things that are lines. These are components of the game that you do not want in the game whatsoever. Sexual violence, harm against children, whatever the things are that for you just don't have any place in the game. They don't need to be talked about. They don't need to be brought up. These are hard lines that we're not going to add into the game. And then the next one is replace with your veils. Veils are things that could happen in the game, but we're not going to describe them. We're going to fade to black. We're going to gloss over them. We're going to say that they have happened, but we won't do it in detail, and we won't put it on screen, as it were. What constitutes a line or veil is entirely up to the group. Everyone should discuss what's their personal comfort level. For instance, for myself, I don't like vivid discussions of gore, but I don't necessarily abhor the idea of violence being in a game. So I might say, like, I don't need any graphic violence. I want that veiled over. Like, we can know it was bad, but I don't need to know how bad or exactly in the way it was bad. And then here is just any other kind of content notes, anything else that folks should know about. And this palette is meant to be a living document. It is intentionally designed with Roll20 text so that you can go in and add your own, helps if I can spell, add your own text and keep revising it and changing it as the game progresses, as you realize that there are new things that excite you, or there are new things that you haven't thought about that you don't want to see come up in the game, or that you want to see veiled in the game. So that is the palette page, and more information on using it is in the book, but here it is for you in Roll20. The next two tools are both card decks, the X card and the pause and check-in card. And the way we made these decks, try to make these as just simple as possible, is that when you mouse over, you'll see a little card sort of like pop up, like, hello. All you need to do is grab that and just drag it out onto the center of the table, and boom, there's now a giant X in front of everybody. It's very hard to miss. It's if you want to X card something, if something comes up in the game that you're like, nope, that's I'm gonna X that, you just drag it out there. You can of course say, let's X card that, or you can say, let's, Thirsty Lesbians includes a bunch of safety tools, but they're not meant to be all-encompassing. We're also caring individuals who love and respect each other. So, if saying, hey, I don't want that in the game, that's another perfectly great way to do it. But sometimes it's hard to articulate, and this is a very quick and simple click and draw, just bam, it goes out there. And whenever that has been resolved, whenever you've kind of excise the component or revise the component that was problematic that you don't want in the game, you can just delete the card. I just selected it and hit delete, and it's gone. This deck is infinite, so you don't have to worry about the cards accidentally going into people's hands or getting deleted or getting. There's one card in the deck and there's an infinite supply of them. So use it whenever as you need it. The pause and check-in card works exactly the same way. This is your opportunity to be like, hey, let's pause for a moment, check in with each other. This is a really great thing to do just as you're about to introduce content that you're not sure about. When you want to get active consent, when you're like, no one has said that they hate spiders, but some people don't like spiders, and I'm thinking about a bunch of spiders. Maybe I should just check in, like, hey, how do people feel about spiders? And it can certainly be over things that are much more emotional as well, like, the emotional beats of the game. Checking in to make sure that your players all feel engaged and comfortable and excited about the sort of emotional landscape as it's going forward. If would your beloved betray you? Maybe that's something you do not want. Maybe you do not want this sort of betrayal, and that would make the game really unfun for you. When you hit those moments, it's great to pause and check in. Similarly, if you see anybody at the table or hear anybody at the table that you feel like is, it sounds like they're not doing well, that something has maybe not sit well with them, and that they aren't enjoying the game, or they're not enjoying the content, or something's upsetting them. Who knows what that could be? That could be completely unrelated to the game. But because we all love and care about each other while we're playing this game, we're just gonna check in. We're just gonna say, hey, just checking in, making sure folks are okay. And again, there's a lot more information about these safety tools in the book itself, but we just wanted to make sure you knew how to use them in the Roll20 module if you're playing online together. So hope that was helpful, and take care.